Deploying the pixel. Bring into effective action, utilize. In Mexico City there are two large-scale amusement parks that are part of the country's popular culture. These infrastructures belong to the inherent skyline of the city and its collective memory, loaded with political, social and economic values. For 60 years, La Feria has been one of the most recognizable and emblematic urban landmarks, as one of the main ludic spaces by excellence, with a centralized location and an accessible price. However, in 2019 a definitive decision was made to close and dismantle La Feria. The absence of this icon produces a void in the city that leaves the question open as to how to inhabit this space. As a design principle, the inhabitants are taken into account as creative users who respond to the multipurpose needs and manifest the characteristics of today's society. This is why the project is based on the notion of an architecture that invents its own site and program. The different uses that define the surrounding spaces are analyzed using a color palette of grays. According to the average block, an abstraction of a grid is made and these are transformed into pixels of 120 square meters. About 60% of the roller coaster that is maintained helped to mark the Cartesian axis using the center of its radius, which developed a grid of 40 by 40 meters. It was then subdivided into a grid of 5 by 5 meters to arrange the elements of the project, which at every 10 meters the terrain descends 40 centimeters, building a constant topographic rhythm. Different connections are used between the elements that make up the grid, and these assemble plazas, pathways, and buildings, transforming the landscape into a network. Therefore, a series of gardens are developed to design a green area. The subtraction of the plazas from the site creates the straight pathways. Plus, in order to create a further connection, a series of curved paths were employed to enclose the main elements of the project. One of these paths descends from the uppermost to the lowest part of the terrain, creating a covered recreational gallery. The project is composed by a series of buildings, housing, commercial spaces, and follies. The main target users are the refugees, with the intention of offering them the opportunity to reintegrate into society and for them to be able to share spaces and generate community. The buildings are designed as temporary shelters that rescue the idea that housing should be flexible. The prototype is sensitive to the socio-economic situation of these people. It fulfills a social and diverse function. Two free-plan spaces are designed to provide an end-to-end attractors for commercial-related activities such as a food and handicraft market. So in this matter, the creative user can take ownership of the area. The sequence of follies is based on the idea of creating landmarks that activate the public space. Each one of them contemplates multipurpose spaces for educational and social workshops, cultural gatherings, and recreational spaces, assuming possible transformations over time. As a result, it creates a flexible use for the public in general.